Hello, good morning, everybody. It is your girl, Nay Songs, and I am back again with another live stream. How is everybody doing this morning? So, you guys, I had a lot on my mind, and oh my gosh, I watched Cynthia G's recent live stream that she did last night, and oh my god, literally. Basically, let me give you guys a rundown of what's going on. If you don't know, recently the Shade Room posted some news about this guaranteed income program that's going to be coming in 2022. I researched the guaranteed income program and I thought it was very interesting. The one that the Shade Room posted about basically is about Georgia, who's launching their guarantee income program. That's going to be soon. There are some, rules on, how to qualify for that. So I decided to go ahead and research what that was, if this was new, how could I get onto it? Because that's in Georgia. I'm like, okay, Florida's right here. Florida's like literally right there, right downstairs. When is it going to come down here? So I researched the guaranteed income program, and literally, it is a program that's made to help merge the wage gap or merge the racial income gap or the racial gap that's going on. Um, and I thought it was pretty important to talk about. Y'all know anytime that we're talking about money, anytime we're talking about money, I'm interested. I need to know what's going on in the world. I need to know what's going on with cryptocurrency. I need to know what's going on with the real estate market. I need to know what's going on with the PPP loan. I need to know what's going on. If there's free money going out, I need to know. So basically, I did a little bit of research of the income guarantee, and this is not new, you guys. It's been going on in several different states. I think about 4 months ago, they launched it in California, where I think in California, the women, it's specifically for single parents, of course, you guys know that. So in California, the women are getting about $650. It is a very limited program for now. It's very, very much limited, and it's for certain people. I think you have to be a Black woman, you have to be a single mother at that, and they're going to reach out to you to apply for the program. So you don't reach out to anybody, they reach out to you if you are selected or not. And, all of this, just came back to me as far as what's going on in the Black community, because I was reading the comments and I did look into Cynthia G's live, and she was going hard. Y'all know Cynthia G, she be roasting these guys up. And I do really agree with Cynthia G with a lot of the points that she has, because she does hold men accountable for their role and their position in the Black community. It's really discouraging when there's certain influencers in the space who just, males who blame Black women for all of their issue, all of their problems. They're like, hey, no, Black women are pretty much a lost cause because they don't know how to submit to their man. They don't listen. They're not agreeable. They're very argumentative. Hey, Tanae, good morning. How are you? Yes, girl, I'm up early. Oh yes, gotta love Cynthia. Got to love Cynthia. Her commentary is very spot on and hilarious at that. So I pretty much am going to open up the line if you're want to come up for added on dialogue. Girl, you're tired on a Saturday morning. Girl, this is the day. Any other day I'd be asleep, I promise you, but I wake up early to go to work, so I'm kind of used to getting up early. I was kind of like a thing now. So if you want to come up, I'll definitely send the link and we can further discuss. But I did want to talk about, the guaranteed income thing, and it really made me think about the Black community, the state that we're currently in. And, as I was saying before, a lot of Black influencers blame women for why the Black community is in shambles. And it's very discouraging to me because I'm just like, yo, I'm always going to have the point. I'm always going to have my point of view. My POV is always going to be from a foreigner's POV because even though I was born in the States, my parents came from a third world country. So, being that I have a duality to my point of view. I see Black Americans' point of view and I see foreigners' point of view. And they always say, hey, when you come to this state, like my parents were like, they were like sergeants. We had to go to college, we had to go to school, we had to, learn a trade. My favorite thing, not my favorite thing, but the Haitian American favorite thing is when you get to this country, you go to school to be a lawyer, doctor, engineer, a nurse. Those four, those are what you have to choose from. Of course, I'm very rebellious. I decided to do whatever I wanted to do because I'm like, listen, I'm not getting into blood. I'm not good at math. I don't like to study for a long time, and no. So, but there's a lot of my cousins, a lot of my family members did go on to become those things, nurses, engineering, two very popular jobs that patients hold. So my family in particular, Haitians in particular, um, couldn't really, honestly, couldn't get these benefits like Section 8, food stamps, these things where Black women feel as though they're winning because they have this false sense of superiority to these Black men because they're getting all of these benefits. They're able to stabilize themselves and support themselves through the government. And, which makes them quote unquote less agreeable. They don't really need a man for nothing. They have this independent woman trope or this independent woman syndrome where they feel as though they're better than the man. They don't really need him for anything. And to me, it's just very discouraging when I see women getting blamed for a lot of dysfunctions in the community, in the society, when I feel as though if the Black men stood their ground and said, hey, listen, I'm not leaving my family. You're not going to kick me out. If it takes me leaving this house for you to receive those benefits, I guess you're not going to receive those benefits. I'm going to work hard for this family. I'm going to make sure that that my kids are protected and that you're secure. If Black men would have stood their ground and been that way instead of literally letting these women kick them out and allowing these women to keep them away from their children and allowing these women to take these government incentives, I really feel as though in the deep depths of my heart, we would be looking at a different Black society today. Being the fact that I come from my family, is Haitian, they weren't able to apply for all of these government incentives because their priority was to get, citizenship, get their green card. You know, they had to work in the process. So men and women always understood that they needed each other when the government wasn't there to provide. You know, the government wasn't ever a thing in other nationalities. So when men say, oh, when especially when black men say, oh, well, I'm gonna go get me a white girl because she has femininity. I'm gonna go get me a Hispanic woman because she has femininity. I'm gonna go get me an Asian woman because she has femininity. They they lack the point of view that these women have femininity because the men in their family always provided for them. The men in their family were strong. The men in their family didn't scurry. The men in their family didn't even allow them to be on welfare and be on food stamps and be on all of these government incentives, incentive programs, incentive based programs. Um, I dated a Hispanic guy for 3 years of my life, and that was one of the best relationships that I had. And he always told me that his family disliked government, anything that had to do with like government assistance. They always said, I didn't come to America to depend on the government. I didn't come to America to rely on the government. Hence why the men stayed in the home. The men were respected by their women. The men got the honor and the praise that they rightfully deserved from their family, from their women and their children. Hence why you see Hispanic, every other nationality that comes to this country, they're able to stay in their marriage because they understand that together they're stronger. They really look forward towards being with their husband, being with their wife, and being married. They don't look forward to being on government assistance, being on food stamps, looking forward towards taxes every year, and getting financial some type of financial regulations through that. So Danae said, I don't think some people understand femininity. You're able to rest in your femininity when you are protected, celebrated, and provided for. Oh my God, that's absolutely correct, Danae. And that's the thing that I have against Black American men. That's the gripe that I have against Black American men, is that they sit there and they blame women constantly over and over and over. They nitpick at women about every little single thing. But I'm like, you are really missing the bigger picture. Where was your father? Why wasn't your father there? Why did your father fail you? Black women already had enough on their plate. Black women already had enough on their plate. There's no way she could have been a provider, a protector, a feminine. There's no way she could have been a feminine protector. I've never heard of such a thing, a feminine protector. It just doesn't exist. It's a very contradicting thing. A feminine protector? No. A woman has to be either feminine or masculine. And another thing that men have an issue with women, they say that women don't have authentic femininity. And I'm like, where's the authentic masculinity to balance out the femininity? Femininity cannot flourish, cannot properly grow and properly be present when there's a lack of masculinity, there's a lack of protection. If all Black women were feminine and this and that, there would be a lot of predators. There would be way more predators than what there are now. There would be a lot of women who'd be preyed after and attacked because would be looked at as weak and looked at as naive and looked at as not smart. Not to say, being feminine is not smart, but men would literally take advantage instead of being who they need to be, being in their masculine. And it shows over and over and over. And I really do think about the bigger picture. I really do think about why did no other nation Why didn't Asians, Indians, Russians, Germans, why didn't any of these countries fall into slavery? Why didn't any of these countries, their people, why didn't they fall into slavery? And I'm thinking, I'm like, what were Black men doing when all these white men came on these ships? They came in all on the coast of Nigeria, all on the coast of Ghana, all on the coast of every which way in big old ships, sailing the world, sailing the seven seas. What were Black men doing? They were sitting in their huts, in their mud huts, butt naked in the wild, no road, no electricity, probably barely had bows and arrows to protect themselves. It really makes me think, like, have black women ever been able to be feminine? When we had to be rescued by the white man, not to put the white man on a pedestal or anything, because they did, put Black people into slavery for 400 years. But I'm like, why didn't the Black men fight? Why didn't the Black men fight these white men, these French people, these Spaniards, the British? Why didn't the African people fight for their right to live how they're living? Instead, the Black men submitted to the white men, to the Spaniards, to the French, to the British. They submitted. They didn't, I feel as though they really didn't fight. I really feel as though they didn't fight. They didn't have the products to fight. They didn't have the materials to fight. They didn't have the mindset to fight. They were just living life on easy street, living in jungles and living in nature in mud huts. Even till today, Black people are still living in mud huts. Not saying all of them. Obviously, there's industrialized civilizations in certain areas of Africa, but for the most part, electricity is still a problem. Running water is still an issue. These people are very much underdeveloped, and I'm like, what's the problem? Why do Black men jump up so quick to say, oh, we're the first people, we're the indigenous people of the world, we're the first people that came to this world? Everybody that is on earth originated from a Black people. However, Africa was the first place that people lived on. It's the first continent people lived on, but it's still underdeveloped with all these Black men there. And it's that was something that was in my head. I'm like, damn, listening to Cynthia G, I'm like, damn, Black men have never been protectors, like true protectors. They've kind of never been. And even thinking about the economy in Haiti right now, the economy in Haiti has been dismantled because of greed, because of selfishness.
Hey, Fine, what's up? How you doing?
Oh, so I really wanted to play this one video which gives a very brief example of how Black men really do lack their provider and protector position ever since Africa. So let me go ahead and play this quick brief video. I'm not sure if this is the clip I was looking for. I think this is someone actually speaking when I was looking for just the video specifically. I did find the video. I want to play for you guys. So let's go ahead and share the screen really quickly. So if you guys can see, this is an African tribe, right? And then you see the white people in the back with their, with their biker gear on and on bikes and with their helmets and glasses and everything, little short shorts. And then you see the tribal people. You see the tribal people, and basically what's going on here, they're trying to tell these white people not to ride their bikes in their community. The people that live there, the Africans that live there, are trying to tell the white people, hey, this is our area. Do not ride your bike here. Go ride your bike somewhere else. You know how big Africa is, and these white people are deciding to ride their bike up in their neighborhood. Can I even call it a neighborhood? What do Africans call? I would say, what is it? Their tribe or something? I won't even call it a neighborhood because they're living in on dirt roads and stuff. So let's go ahead and play the video. I don't want to play the commentary that's attached to this video per se. I mostly wanted to focus on the actual video itself. Okay, so as you guys can see here, you guys can read the body language very well. The lady in the yellow is telling these ladies to leave.
It's me.
And these are two women. The woman in the yellow and the woman in the red shirt, they're telling these white people to leave. It's two women telling these white people to leave, to go, to get out of here. Oh, it's called a village. They're telling these white people, get out of our village. And the white lady sitting there trying to beg and plead, whatever. No, please let me ride through. Let me ride through. Let us get through. Let us ride through. And the black women are not having it. They're like, no, get out. We don't want you here. But my thing is, you guys see the white men in this herd of bikers. But where are the black men that are supposed to be defending and protecting this village? The women are the one doing the hard work and that are protecting. Okay, I don't know what this is here. Let's go back. So I really do, in the core of my heart, I really do feel as though Black women have never been protected by Black men. It's never been a thing, because even till today, you can still see where Black women have to protect themselves, even at this really low level in life, living in a village in dirt roads, trying to use a stick to protect themselves. Like, they don't even have bats. They're sitting there with a stick in their hand, telling these men and women to leave, to turn around, hit a U-turn. So this has really been an issue that's been really bothering me as of lately, especially with Cynthia G, putting everything into the right perspective, that Black men have never really been protectors. So for them to sit there and always critique Black women on what we are going, where we're going, what we got going on, what we doing, our femininity levels, blah, blah, blah. But they failed to realize that the masculinity is not there. Who else is going to do it? Who else is going to protect and provide? Who else is going to protect this village? 400 years ago, these people are traumatized by white people probably. 400 years ago, these white people came to Africa and stole these people up and turned them into slaves and had them working for free. Took these black people and sent them all over the Caribbean islands. The Caribbean islands already had indigenous people there, but it wasn't like predominantly black how it is now. It was mostly Indian. Now it's like white people like Haiti, slave is a slave country, Jamaica, slave country, Bahamas, slave country, Virgin Islands, slave country. All these white people are there because these white people took them and dropped them off at a designation. But why was that able to happen? Because the black men for centuries have failed to play their position and play their role. So if black women are considered, welfare queens, a lot of black men give black women slack about accepting the government incentives. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing? What do you bring to the table? Asking a woman what she brings to the table is literally a form of violence at this point. Asking a woman as a man, and you're asking a woman what she brings to the table, is a form of violence when you haven't even proved yourself to be worthy of even having a woman. Life was so easy when we just lived in a village. But still, life wasn't easy because women, it looks like women had to do the most of the work. What were the men doing exactly? Where are the men? Where are the men in this video? I'm just highly disturbed. I'm just highly disturbed. Alrighty, so I'm sorry guys. I got a little bit sidetracked. I'm actually gonna drop the link down here. I'm pretty sure people thought that this was gonna be a very ghetto show because of my title. But I really want to keep it level-headed. So I did drop the link. Can I paste this or pin this or something? Yeah. So I did drop the link. Today, if you want to call in, anybody else that comes into the show want to call in, and we can talk about basically, just everything as far as why women are lacking in quote unquote femininity, Black women in particular. Why are Black women lacking in femininity? Obviously, you can't get femininity without masculinity. It's just impossible. You cannot get femininity without masculinity. Masculinity has to be present. I really do feel as though the reason why a lot of Asian countries have been, like Asia, China in particular, has been super successful. Like literally, this country is one of the leading forces financially, like in their economy, like they've made the most billionaires in the world. Their quality of life is way different than America. People in Japan, I feel as though you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but literally there was a time, a very dark time in China where they were literally, like literally, I think there were too many people in China, way too many people in China. It was overpopulated. They decided, hey, you're only allowed to have 2 kids per household. If you had more than 2 kids, they would literally kill your third child. Or you would have to like have your third child, but they would be undocumented. They would like just be like undocumented, an undocumented child. So what they would do was, it's pretty dark. They would literally get rid of the girl and keep the boys. They would get rid of the girl and keep the boys. And I feel as though when they did that long time ago, I don't know how many years ago, but when they did that, it really did shape China to what it is today. Chinese people are the most disciplined people on the face of the earth. They really believe in working hard, not just working hard, they believe in being smart and using more than 10% of your brain. These people are so tech technically advanced. They're advanced with their weapons. They're advanced in aircraftmanship, like, you know, sending things to the moon and things of that nature. They have a very masculine nature country. I think they have a communist country as well, so their structure is totally different. I I would say, is it communist? I think so. So their structure is so different. Um, However, the over amount of masculine energy has really shaped China till today. Like they're one of those countries that America does not want to F with. They're one of those countries that America does not want to go toe to toe with at all. At all. All China got to do is press one little red button and the whole USA is gone. So I feel as though, you know, the contrast with the African countries, the black men had no structure. They were lacking in structure. They were always lacking in masculinity. You know what they did? Oh, I remember what they used to do back in Africa for the men to prove that they were masculine. I think they had to go, you know, fight a lion or something. I think in Africa, what they had to do when the men, when the you know, boys turned into men, and you know, the men, they had to go do their little rituals or whatever. Boy reaching manhood, I think the boys had to go fight a lion or kill a gazelle or something like that. And that's as of like recently. Like, what is killing a lion gonna do for you when people, when you guys don't even live on paved roads? The roads are not paved. There's no AC. You guys are living in mud huts. Superstores are not a thing yet. So for me, it's just like it really does stress me out. And oh my God, it was so funny because I watched Kevin Samuels as well. And he always said this thing, winter is coming. Winter is coming. Winter is coming, all this, all that. But then he's saying winter is coming like he's running something. Like the guys have for this need of power that is just not real. It's just insane to me. I'm just like, winter is coming. I didn't even know what that. I had no clue what that meant. Honestly, I guess that meant that women want to find a cuddle buddy or something. I don't know. Cause rent is always paid. Rent paid in the wintertime, in the summertime, in the spring, in the fall. Rent is, I don't never see no woman struggling depending on the season. Black women are doing good for themselves. But I see why, white women, I see why white men, lack respect for these men. They really don't understand. They don't get it. They really don't get it. Kevin Samuels has all these women in a scarcity mindset. And then it's so funny because the government came through and was like, nah, like, let me give y'all some incentive. Let me give y'all some incentive right quick. Um, so yeah, let's share this. Oh Lord, this is really this is funny. Okay, so Tanae said the only men complaining and worry about what Black women are doing are the ones not doing anything. That is a very feminine trait to be worried about and complaining about a woman. I totally agree with that, Tanae. Like, Sarah, why are you not working? Do you not have a hobby or passions? Are you mad at your mom because your dad wasn't there? That's a really great question. I really do feel as though the passive aggressiveness that the Black men are giving to women are because their father essentially wasn't there. So in essence, they are operating in their feminine energy because they didn't have a positive role model to model after. Their dad wasn't there, their uncles wasn't nothing, and they had absolutely nothing to look forward to. Absolutely nothing to look forward to. I stay far away from these types of men and don't care because there are Black men. Well, dang, that's rough. But yes, and I definitely get that. Like, you have to protect yourself at the end of the day. And when I tell you, Black men are so violent and so persistent and so entitled to Black women, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely gut wrenching. The fact that they just feel as though Black women owe them something. And it's actually the other way around. You owe Black women something. You owe Black women, you have to show Black women who you are and step into your masculinity and step into your energy. Now, some Black men really do take it too far. I feel as though, the reason why white supremacy keeps trying to dismantle the Black family is because some Black men really take it too far. They really live in la la land and they're very delusional. They really feel as though they used to be kings. Like, they really think this. They really feel like they used to be kings. And I'm like, kings where? Where used to be a king at? If you used to be a king, there's no way. There's no way you would have let white people, Spaniards, British, and the French come into this country, this soil, and literally take over. Literally take over and make you a slave. How you go from being a king to a slave? From what I know, kings protect their people. From what I know, kings have an army. From what I know, kings make sure that they're ready for war. But the delusion is real. And they always say, Black women, oh my God, Black women, you're so delusional. You don't even want to submit to your man. But why do y'all really think y'all was kings though? I really want y'all to come back off of whatever delusional blimp that you're on right now in the middle of space. But you need to come back to Earth and really deal with the facts. You were never a king. Black men want so much praise for doing nothing, and that's so sad. And don't, because Black men out there who know how to provide, take care of family, and are genuine and hard workers. There's a great documentary on Netflix about girls across the globe in different cultures and systematic oppression and girl genocide. Very interesting. Oh, girl, you got Netflix. Can I get your password? We'll talk about that later. I am curious to know what it is. I was just kidding about that though. You have to send. You don't got to send a password if you don't want to. But I am very curious about that. I love documentaries. It's super interesting to me. It really does open my eyes. What did you learn from that documentary, Tanae? What is something that you really took away from that documentary, learning from, learning about the systematic oppressions in different cultures and girl genocide? Let's see here. I did send the link if you want to come up. But yeah, I mean, it's super, super, super duper. It's super, super frustrating. It's super, super frustrating seeing how these Black men are just. So Tanae said just how the world views women as weaker historically. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's true. Women have always been the weaker vessel. However, in the Black communities, the absolute opposite. It's like women are the stronger vessel in the Black community. I feel maybe that's why the Black men, kill each other, commit homicide against each other in the Black community because they just don't value each other. They don't value each other. They don't see each other as a comrade. The Black women, we see each other as assets. We see each other as something valuable. I'm not saying that it's perfect. Of course, there's some catty nature, especially what they display on TV. But on that back end in community and societies, when I tell you Black women really hold it down, they really hold it down. They really hold it down for real. But I really do feel as though, Black men really need to come back to Earth. ET phone home and look at the dire need of masculinity in the Black culture, specifically in the Black culture. There's a dire need for it, just dire all over. You know, I'm pretty much disappointed. Me being from my family being from Haiti and seeing how greed dismantled the economy. The Black men in position there decided that they wanted to they wanted to take the offers of the white man. You know, they were propositioned with these incentives, and these politicians in the Haitian White House thought, okay, well, I can either build this country up, build up our military, create jobs in this economy, build roads, put some electricity in here, you know, get some panels, you know, those electricity panels that people put on their roofs, you know, get something stable in the country. Instead of doing that, they basically turned around and took the money and said, hey, I'm going to go build a house in Miami. I'm going to go get a house in South Beach. I'm a politician. I'm living large. That really did destabilize the country. And I hope and I wish that people would learn from this, you know, but it is pretty detrimental. And yeah, I'm pretty much going to call it that. I'm pretty much going to wrap it up from here, guys. I didn't want this to be a really long live, but I did want to express my feelings and a few points on how I felt. So if you guys are in the live, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching this on the replay, also give the video a thumbs up. And comment down below if you have any opposing positions, or if you agree and would like to follow up with any thoughts. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys coming and being a part of the show. I'll see you guys on the next live.